No, this is Jim Manson. We're back to another episode of the Libertarian Uncensored podcast. Let's get right into it. Trump was a tyrant and war criminal, and the deep state effort to take him out for mythical offenses is arbitrary and fraudulent. All parties involved in the indictment are a part of the same corrupt ruling class. They're actively building a banana republic at our expense from LP National on Twitter, and I posted that, and I said, um, uh... Clint Russell with a good take as well. And his tweet was on the matter. There's nothing Joe Biden could do that would get him indicted. There's nothing Donald Trump could do that wouldn't get him indicted. There is no justice in America, just political power. I agree with that. The thing is, they're all corrupt. They're only interested in charging Trump because he says stuff that goes against the narrative on occasion. They're all corrupt. They all need to go to jail, but that will never happen. So that's the sad reality of the world we live in. Joe Biden can be on all of Hunter's business calls and help and be involved in all of Hunter's business and help him get on the border briefs, but they'll never charge him because the narrative says he's good and you should vote for him because that's what the narrative is. Because the narrative says, oh, he's the adult in the room, but he's he's senile. He's just a senile kook. They're all kooks and they're all just bullying their agenda onto us. The New World Order. They can't say the New World Order anymore, so now they're calling it the Liberal World Order, and that's just how it is. It's just the continuation of all the neoliberal agenda and the liberal world order. We have live stream premiere season 2 episode 6, the Itsy Bitsy Vixen mentality from the Tuttle Twins, and I posted that and I said, probably one Reddit should watch. This website is the worst when it comes to victim mentality. Then we have United States of America v. Donald J. Trump, District of Columbia, full indictment from Sturridge.courtlister.com by Skull Whisperer, and that says 45 pages. Read for yourselves. And yeah, I personally think they're all corrupt. Donald Trump, he's pretty corrupt, but they only get him for it. They're not going to get anyone else, and that's the sad truth. Because it's everyone has an agenda. They just want to. It's just they want to go after him and make him look bad. But the thing is, the persecution, it plays right into his persecution fetish and the basis persecution fetish as well. So that's gonna only help him in the long run. I think. He markets himself as the rule breaker, and this is only gonna help with that marketing. I personally think he doesn't really break too many rules. He just kind of presents like he does. He breaks the rules that don't really matter. You need to break the rules that matter, like stop with the war, stop with the constant bombings and foreign interventionism and Federal Reserve and central banking. That's the stuff that matters. He just wants to. He just cares more about his own ego than doing stuff that actually matters. That's the thing. Then we have a certain contrarian should pay special attention to the last script by Tom 14. That's from it's a link to Tom Dancing Bug, and it's it looks just like it's DNC agenda stuff. Tom Dancing Bug is one of those DNC agenda comics. It says today, I will force you to be woke. It's so frustrating to be utterly under your power. If only whites had some power, or in the near control of the country's wealth and political might. Too late, my use of the word woke subjugates your race. Hey, how I yearn for color once shining, which every system is fantasy you have ignored. It's what MLK wanted. And that's the thing, the woke, they just, I'm saying the word woke. No, it's everything. They want to completely remake our society into their image, but you can't call them out on it because they'll find some agenda. They'll just say, oh no, you're wrong. You just can't disagree with them. This is how bad it's getting. It's just they want to completely remake our society, but they just it's just they control the narrative. So that's how bad it's getting. Then we have Fitch says conservative terrorism was the reasons they downgraded the rating. Instead of crosspost from the conservative terrorism subreddit. But a tweet from Carl Quintanilla. Exclusive Fitch director says January 6th instruction was highlighted in Justice and Treasury that reflected deterioration, governance, polarization at Reuters. And, yeah, I think this is more of an agenda post, but everything on Reddit's kind of an agenda post when you think about it. I think Chi-Town's done like 7 or 8 push from in the conservative terrorism subreddit in the past couple of days, in the past day or so. So, yeah. And we have Seize the Hospitals, but how from the Chi-Town 20. That's a cross post from the Libertarian Left subreddit from blackcrossrosefed.org. And I think, the thing is, the healthcare system, it's the thing is it's going to inherently be controlled by someone, and that's the thing is I think we should have a more independent healthcare system than what we have currently. That's my thoughts there. If you want the government to pay for your healthcare, I think you should be able to. But I think even if you want private enterprise to pay for your healthcare as well, I think you should be able to. I think the healthcare, you're not entitled to someone else's labor, and that's the big problem we see with it. These people feel entitled to it. You're not entitled to someone else's labor, and that's something that you need to remember. Then we have Fox News lying about the indictment. Another crosspost from the conservative terrorist subreddit by Chi-Town 20. That's Aaron Rupar on Freds. Jonathan Turley's blatant lying on Fox News. Jack Smith Mike's clear in the early pages of the indictment that Trump's statements are not the alleged crimes. The crime was the effort to disenfranchise voters. That's the thing is, I guess, you can make anything a crime if you want, if the narrative says so. So that's my thoughts there. Then we have the sorts of folks we have here by Incrementa. You, Chi-Town 20, the apologists for the ongoing Uyghur genocide. U/Beige Forever, the racist eugenicist, which you net sneaking elections is fine for allowing, apparently. And then U/JFMV763 running for Austin Williams, say if you support banning actual child marriage. And I said, I personally don't care for child marriage and will consider it a NAT violation, so I guess I could justify a ban, but I really don't like forcing my cultural standards on others. That's the thing. It's like, even to an extent like murder, murder is clearly a NAT violation in my mind, but should the government try and make murder illegal, then how do you do that? You got police and they're authoritarian in their own way, so I don't know. Maybe I don't think the government should make anything illegal, The more any laws the government passes, you could argue, is unjust, so that's my opinion there. And we have Libertarians 1-on-1 from Nathan RH. Seems to be kind of wall texty, so I think, I think I'm just going to skip this one. Authoritarian is power for it. Yeah, I think I agree with the first line. The opposite of libertarian is power to people. I think everyone should take power their own way and don't take any shit from anyone. Just stand up for yourself and don't let anyone force their bullshit on you. And we have Representative Matthew Lyon in prison for statements made against President John Adams in 1798 from mtsu.edu from Frosty Slauman. And I said, and people think that we have bad today. Just go show that every era has its own problems. And we have the corporate press. Putin prosecuted his chief political opponent. He's an evil dictator. Also the corporate press. Biden prosecuted his chief political opponent. He's a champion of democracy from LP National on Twitter. And I posted that and I said, agreed. Prosecute Trump for his bombings and foreign invasions while the ever living U.S. president, not for political jaywalking. The thing is, it's just bullshit. They just want to get Trump because the narrative says he's uniquely bad. They're all shit, but, the narrative just says Trump is uniquely bad, and they need you to believe that so they can get away with all their other shit. And if we get Trump, we're all corruption's not going to be solved. They'll just move on to someone else. They'll move on to Ron DeSantis or whoever gets the GOP nomination. It doesn't really matter. It's all bullshit. They're all on the same team behind the scenes. This is all theater. How could it get that bad? People often ask of totalitarian regimes, it's that bad because it happens in small increments that you tolerate until one day it collapses. The condensed ratings history make it seem shocking, but it happens slowly. From Tim Pool on Twitter, and that was his response to the video of them talking with the Pentagon guy about the U.S. citizens held captive by Ukraine. And I said, Ukraine can get away with imprisoning as many U.S. citizens as they want to. They have the narrative on their side. The guy clearly said, he's kind of Russian show, but the thing is, that doesn't justify throwing him in prison for using his free speech. I can only fathom how people like Patan 14 here would have acted during World War II. You would probably have been the first pushing FDR to throw Japanese Americans into internment camp. The First Amendment does not make an exception for times of war. And we have I'm Absolutely Speechless from Chris Rayburn, and that was a quote tweet of Parental Tony Pajama. I love the specific clip of internet woke skulls because every once in a while you get confirmation that they're terrible people that they constantly pretend to be more superior to the people they criticize. That was a clip of Jesse Gender saying, "Oh, I threw my cat once," in a fit of rage. And I said, if someone feels the need to constantly emphasize their superiority when it comes to anything, then they probably aren't as superior as they want you to believe. That's pretty much anything. If someone goes out of the way to emphasize something, that's probably not really true. Show don't tell. That's what I say. And I think they're on the genders on the spectrum, so I can see it as kind of an autistic mental that I have on occasion, but I don't try and present as being more morally superior all the time. So that's my thoughts there. Internet providers that want FCC grants try to escape broadband commitments from ArsTechnica.com by Ninja Lover, and I guess that's the thing is I don't think we should have the FCC. We shouldn't have the government regulating media or the internet at all. I think we have What Is Message of This Movie from Forbes.com about sound freedom by Beige Forever. I think it's just kind of a generic action movie, but there are there's some agenda behind it, I would say, but there's an agenda behind every movie. Like the Bard movie, that clearly has an agenda that's kind of, kind of pushing like about how bad the patriarchy is. Everything has an agenda, especially when it comes to the media these days. And people are really worse at all ever than hiding it, I would say. Remember therapist reports on how liberals are reporting neurotic episodes and anxiety disorders from Trump's election. If you feed on a constant media stream warning you're living under Hitler, it's probably profitable for media but not healthy for you. From Lingering on Twitter, I posted that. And I said, agreed, sometimes it's best just to turn off the TV. The government and media love feeding off of people's fears and insecurities first and foremost, and that's how they get you to watch. They keep you engaged, and they do that by playing off your fear and insecurity. Then we have CIA moderating Wikipedia. Former editor, they also edited dictionaries to push the pro-capitalist narrative by Chi-Town 20, and that's across from the Breaking Points News subreddit. And I said, not surprising, the CIA and the other alphabet agencies try and influence the narrative as much as possible. I made a video to raise awareness for South Asian migrant workers who are heavily exploited in Dubai. I can't wait to see this oppressive regime crumble. And that's by Chi-Town 20. That's a cross post from the Libertarian Left subreddit. And I wish we could see all the oppressive regimes crumble. But that's the thing is, I think all of human society is naturally oppressive. That's why I think and that's why maybe we should just leave each other alone. That's my thing. I think we should all just leave each other alone. Priorities of capitalism, that's crosswords from News of Xinjiang subreddit for Chi-Town 20. That's a damn price squeeze. New York is giving the Buffalo Bills $850 million in taxpayer funds for a new state and the biggest pro sports subsidy of all time. 3 days ago, NY announced the new $800 million to Childhood and Family Services. Bill's owner is worth $5.8 billion. And that's the thing is, it just goes to show you that the government and private interests constantly collude. You can't call them out for it if it goes against the narrative. Like we'll see another post about that later, I would say. Healthcare has no place in schools, says the party that also claims to be about protecting children by Chi-Town 20. That's across from the conservative terrorism subreddit. Montreal Liberty says no to mental health care in schools, but it's Florida law. And, that's the thing is, mental health care is, they might use it for an agenda reason, like trying to convince kids they're trans, I would say, but, the thing is, I don't think healthcare is right. You do have to pay for it, so that's never a good thing you have to remember. So I don't think, school taxes are already very high. Sometimes you do have to cut corners if you want to save money. A simple reminder that January 6th is back in the news and they want to deflect as much as possible. And ever cross was from the Colorado Selection Conservative Terrorism server by Chi-Town 20. Yeah. So, I think January 6th, it's all just an agenda, If the BLM/Antifa did it, the MAGA people did the BLM riots, then the people who think they're the worst thing ever, they'd be reversed. It's people only care about who's bad when it's people who are political opponents doing the stuff they deem as bad. Texas man accused of trafficking children in Bolivia arrested for January 6th insurrection, something drag queens by Chi-Town 20. That's from directdetection.blogspot.com, another crosspost from the conservative terrorism subreddit. And, that's just another agenda post, just have so many agenda posts. I think that's the last of them, though, for the day from Tri-Town. The cartel that controls the U.S. media industry, from Frosty Stallman, from StarCraftBeehive.com. And I agree, every industry is controlled by some kind of someone who's in power, and that's the thing. That's why you can't have a society where I think you have to obtain. I think in a true libertarian society you need to obtain your own resources, because everyone who obtains resources for you is ultimately it has their own agenda. That's my fault there. More hypocrisy from moderators from Room My Circle Jerk. You put on 13 uses the vague definition of spam task. Use less than Friday. Stop posting their Christmas to certain users, but it's at least not when they're moderated by Donald Key's much worse behavior. And I would agree that's the thing is everyone has an agenda when it comes to moderating. That's why I think we need to mod free speech absolutists, but Reddit doesn't like that. And that's why I think Reddit's slowly a dying website from the Aaron Swartz days. Aaron Swartz days was free speech absolutist, but now it's slowly really dying with It's like saying, no, you can't have free speech. You can't say no hate speech, no misinformation, no, yada, yada, yada. And that just goes to show you they don't really care for free speech. The U.S. wants Kenya to lead a force in Haiti with 1,000 police. Watchdogs say they'll export abuse, from APnews.com by Puffin Fan. And I definitely would agree that is another foreign interventionist bullshit that the U.S. wants to do. Then we have Justin Bideman reportedly asked Facebook to alter its algorithm to favor certain news outlets over others. Newly obtained record show from Disclosed TV. And I said, not surprising, sadly. And I only heard that the state told social media censor on now change their algorithms. Now they want them to change their algorithms. They want them to do everything to conform with their agenda, and that's not good. Ray tries to defend him, and I said relevant. I linked to the Michael Mouse tweet. Blue Pill people freely acknowledge that powerful elites work together to further their interests at the expense of everyone else, but we've dismissed virtually every single example of them doing so as a conspiracy theory, and this is a good example of that. It's the government and the private corporations colluding to control the narrative, but it's okay because it's the government. The government has the right letter next to its name. Then we have Fix This For You from Classical Liberal Caucus on Twitter, and that was how they replied to Sean, who tweeted, "But picture Bill Clinton, I got a blowjob, Barack Obama, I wore a tan suit, picture Bill Clinton, his private email, and then picture of Ronald Reagan, I used lethal weapons to rock my hand fund terrorist, George W. Bush, I started war on lies and destroy the economy, draw a picture of Don Trump, I attempted to steal classified documents, and then they just released if I committed war crimes for all of them." And I think that's good because, it's something all libertarians can agree on. Dave Smith would agree as well. I like to get from him saying pretty much the same thing. The thing is that they're all corrupt and they all need to be held accountable, but they're only interested in holding accountable. It all depends. It depends on what layer they have next to them and how people want to hold them accountable. Then we're looking at American history. Can you imagine or reading that James Master narcissism tried to over the government so they could stay in power? This is narcissism with steroids from MSNBC on Twitter. And I said, I feel like this almost has to be intentional. If someone someone needs to read up on the American Revolution a little more. That's why I really liked Jefferson. He said we should tear the Constitution up every 50 years and start over. He said, yep, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time for the blood of patriots and tyrants. I really like that quote. I think it's the reason why I always like Jefferson. It reminds me a lot of myself when it comes to government philosophy. Not surprising he was probably on the spectrum too. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there, and I'll see you guys. We just got a new post from Tri-Town. Florida bans AP psychology over gender identity, sexual orientation lessons. College board says this is what illiberal capitalist fascism looks like, from OrlandoSentinel.com. That's just another agenda post. That's the thing, though. The government can ban whatever people learn for any reason possible, and that's just the sad truth because, they have the ability. That's why I think we got to get rid of the government, and the thing we have to get rid of the government-run schools too, because they are ultimately going to push their agenda on people, and which usually will be the government's agenda. So we gotta get rid of all that and live in a true libertarian society where instead of schools, maybe we could have children learning wilderness survival instead. So that's my thoughts there, and I think we're gonna wrap it up there, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.